I heard it first. A sound that made my blood run cold.
Moans.
Laughter. The unmistakable shuffle of clothing. I froze in the hallway outside the executive bathroom, my heart hammering, my hand gripping the wall for balance. I peeked through the half-open door. Victor, my husband, and Bianca, my secretary, laughing as she buttoned her blouse, his belt tossed carelessly on the floor. I felt my stomach twist. My vision narrowed. Every rational thought fled. "Victor," I said, my voice barely a whisper. He froze, panic flashing across his face. Bianca turned, eyes wide. "Clara," Victor stammered. I stepped fully into the room, phone already in hand. "Explain," I demanded. My voice sharp, controlled, but trembling with rage. It's not what it looks like," he said, backing away. "Not what it looks like?" I echoed, voice rising. "You're in my home, with my secretary, and somehow it's not what it looks like?" Bianca tried to smile. "Clara, please, please," I shouted.
Out.
"Both of you. Now." They hesitated. Victor's smug arrogance tried to surface, but fear edged it. I didn't let him recover. I pulled my phone from my pocket, hand steady now, voice icy. "Smile. Wave. I'm recording." Victor paled. Bianca froze. "You've been lying to me, manipulating me, and thinking I wouldn't find out?" I asked, circling them like a predator. Victor tried to reach for me. I stepped back, sharp. "Don't touch me. One move, and this is evidence for the board, lawyers, and the police if necessary." "You can't," Victor started.
"I can," I said.
"And I will. Every single lie. Every betrayal. I trusted you, Victor, and you threw it away for her?" Bianca bit her lip. "Clara, out," I said again, louder, final. They scrambled, grabbing their clothes and exiting. I closed the bathroom door behind them, locking it. My hand shook as I pressed my forehead against the cold wood. Then I noticed the faint smell, sweet, almost floral, wafting from my teacup sitting untouched on the counter. My eyes widened. My heart sank. Victor had poisoned my tea. For what? Inheriting my family shares. Of course. It was all too clear now. I swallowed the lump in my throat and grabbed the cup, staring at the liquid for a long moment. Anger boiled beneath fear, determination hardening in my chest. I would survive. I would expose them. I would take everything back. I glanced at the clock. My birthday party. The final stage for Victor's plan. And I wasn't going to let him succeed. I poured the tea down the sink and stormed toward the bedroom, dialing my private line as I went. "Leo," I said, once connected. My voice harsh but controlled. "It's Victor.
He's done something.
I need your help.
Now."
There was a pause. Then his calm, deliberate voice. "I've been waiting for this day. I'll be there in 20 minutes. I hung up, fists clenched, mind racing. Every second counted now. Victor thought he was in control. He was wrong. I wasn't just angry. I was prepared. And from this moment forward, I would make him regret ever underestimating me. The party was in full swing. Guests laughed, glasses clinked, and the chandeliers sparkled above the grand hall. But I didn't see any of it. I only saw Victor, moving through the crowd with that smug smile, Bianca hovering near him like she owned the place. I took a deep breath and picked up my teacup from the side table. Just a sip to calm my nerves, I thought. But the smell hit me first, a faint, floral sweetness that didn't belong. My stomach clenched. Victor's eyes met mine across the room. He raised his glass, toasting me, his smile dripping with false affection. My heart froze. He had done it. I moved fast, keeping my movements casual. I needed to stay in control. I poured the tea into the nearest planter, pretending to sip while keeping my eyes on him. Victor laughed and turned to Bianca. "She'll never see it coming," he whispered. I clenched my fists. Not if I could stop him. I stepped toward the balcony to get fresh air, hoping the cool wind would clear my head. But my vision blurred. My pulse raced. My legs felt heavy, like lead. The panic surged, but I forced it down. Someone brushed past me. I tried to speak, to warn them, but my tongue felt thick, heavy. My vision tunneled. The lights of the party bent and warped. I stumbled, grabbing the railing. "Clara," a voice shouted. I heard shouting, panicked. I tried to focus. "Clara." Everything went black. I woke up in the master bedroom. My birthday cake still sat on the table. Candles flickered. The same party decorations. But something was off. I blinked. My head was clear. My body strong. My tea untouched. It hit me I was back. Hours before the poisoning. My birthday party hadn't started yet. Victor hadn't had the chance to act. Relief and rage collided in my chest. I clenched my fists. I had a second chance. A full opportunity to stop him before he even tried. I checked my phone. Messages from Victor and Bianca unread. The timeline hadn't reached the moment of betrayal. I moved swiftly, planning my first steps. I had to catch him in the act, but I couldn't rush blindly. Patience, strategy, precision. First, I called Leo, Victor's estranged brother, the so-called black sheep. I had trusted him only lightly before, but if anyone had records, files, dirt on Victor, it was him. "Leo," I whispered into the phone, urgency in my voice. "Victor's planning something tonight. Something dangerous. I need your help. Meet me at the house.
Now."
"I've been waiting for this call," he said. Calm, steady, confident. "I'll be there in 15 minutes. Don't let him see you." I hung up, heart racing. I scanned the room, eyes locking on Victor's study. The files, the papers, the potential evidence. Every detail mattered. Every second counted. Victor thought he was clever, that he could destroy me, take my family shares and laugh. He was wrong. I wasn't just prepared. I was ready. I had a plan. And this time, nothing would stop me. I moved to the balcony, breathing in the night air, feeling alive, aware and unstoppable. The countdown had begun. I woke up to the soft hum of the city outside my window. My birthday party hadn't started yet. My head was clear, my body alert, my senses sharp. I ran my hands over the sheets, checking my surroundings. Nothing had happened yet. Victor was still the same smug man I had caught, but this time, I had the upper hand. I wasn't going to let him poison me, humiliate me, or take my family's shares. Not today. First step, gather evidence. I knew Victor well. His arrogance always made him careless. He'd think no one was watching. I'd make him regret that. I called Leo, my unexpected ally, Victor's estranged brother. He picked up immediately. "I'm here," he said, voice low and confident. "You found out?" "Yes," I said. "And I'm not letting him get away with it. We need to catch everything tonight. Every lie, every scheme." "I've been keeping files on him for years," Leo admitted. "Financials, emails, shady deals, all of it. I was waiting for the right moment to protect you." I felt a spark of relief. And something else, unexpected. Gratitude.
Trust.
Maybe more.
But no time for that now.
"Meet me at the house," I said. "We need to go through everything before he starts tonight." 20 minutes later, Leo arrived, moving quietly through the side door. I handed him my phone with the timeline of Victor's movements. "We track him in real time. Every step." He nodded. "I've got cameras set up around the house and a few files on his laptop. If he tries anything, we'll see it." I paced. Heart hammering. Victor's bold. He thinks he's untouchable. But he's sloppy. He always is. Leo smirked. "I know. And I've been waiting for this day. Tonight we expose him." I looked at him, eyes sharp. No mistakes. One wrong move, and he could still try to poison me or ruin everything. He nodded. "We do this clean. Controlled. Every step documented." I spent the next hour going through the files. Bank transfers, contracts, emails. Victor had underestimated both of us. His arrogance blinded him to the fact that someone had been recording, tracking, and watching his every move. I tapped my phone. "We need to catch him in the act with Bianca tonight. Not just for proof of betrayal, but to secure legal leverage. I want everything documented before he thinks he's safe. Leo grinned faintly. You've got it. Cameras, recordings, backups. All ready. I felt a surge of confidence. This was no longer about fear. This was about control. This was about taking back my life, piece by piece. Victor had made one fatal mistake, thinking I was weak, trusting, and unaware. He didn't know I had seen, I had survived, and I had a plan that would leave him exposed beyond repair. I pulled out my teacup from the kitchen. I'd keep it as a reminder. The poison, betrayal, deception, it all started here. But this time, I wouldn't drink. This time, I would act. Leo stepped closer, his presence reassuring. Ready? He asked. I nodded, fists clenched. Ready. Let's make sure he never forgets today. Or me. We moved through the house quietly, checking cameras, double-checking locks, and preparing the files. Every movement was precise. Every glance calculated. Tonight, Victor wouldn't know what hit him. And I would make sure of it. I watched the security feed on my phone while pretending to greet guests downstairs. Victor had just walked into his study. Bianca followed him seconds later, glancing around like a thief. Target acquired, Leo whispered through my earpiece. Record everything, I replied, keeping my smile fixed as I shook a guest's hand. Victor shut the study door. My screen split into 4 angles.
Perfect view.
Bianca crossed the room first. You said tonight was the night, she said.
Victor loosened his tie.
It is. Once she drinks the tea, everything transfers to me. Her shares, her voting rights, everything. My stomach turned, but my hands stayed steady. And me? Bianca asked. You get your cut, Victor said. Just don't mess it up like last time. Leo muttered in my ear. Got him. All audio clear. I excused myself from the guests and slipped into the hallway, heart racing. I needed him to see me after the confession. I needed him careless. I opened the bar cabinet loudly. Victor stormed out of the study seconds later. Clara, he said too brightly. There you are. I leaned casually against the counter, looking for my tea. You didn't move it, did you? His eyes flicked to Bianca behind him. Of course not, he said. Why would I? I picked up the teapot and sniffed it. Funny. It smells different. Bianca stiffened. Probably a new blend, Victor said, stepping closer. Don't overthink it. I smiled sweetly. You're right. I overthink everything. I poured the tea into a cup, careful not to let any touch my lips. Then I walked toward the sink. Victor frowned. What are you doing? I don't feel like tea anymore, I said and dumped it down the drain. Bianca gasped softly. Victor grabbed my wrist. Clara, what's wrong with you? I met his eyes, calm and sharp. Everything. He let go slowly, trying to recover. You're acting strange. Am I? I said. Or am I finally paying attention? Leo whispered urgently. The board members are arriving. Perfect, I murmured. I turned back to Victor. Why don't you and Bianca go greet everyone? I'll join you in a minute. Victor hesitated, then forced a smile. Of course. They walked away together. The second they were gone, Leo stepped out from the side hallway. He confessed to everything, he said. We have him. Planning, motive, intent. I exhaled slowly. Good. Now we finish this. We walked into the ballroom. The board members stood near the stage, drinks in hand, laughing like nothing was wrong. Victor clinked his glass. Everyone, he said. A toast to my wonderful wife on her birthday. I stepped forward. Actually, I said loudly, I'd like to share something first. The room quieted. Victor's smile froze. Clara now isn't. I nodded at Leo. The screen behind the stage lit up. Victor's voice filled the room. Once she drinks the tea, everything transfers to me. Her shares, her voting rights, everything. Bianca's face went white. Victor shouted, Turn that off. I faced the room. That was my husband, plotting to poison me to steal my family's company. Gasps erupted around the hall. I walked toward Victor, eyes blazing. You thought I was blind. You thought I was weak, but I heard everything. He backed away. Clara, listen. No, I said. You listen. You're finished. The board members stared at him in disbelief. Phones were already out recording. Leo stepped beside me, calm and unshakable. We've backed up all the files. Contracts, emails, recordings. There's no escaping this. Victor collapsed into a chair, shaking. Bianca whispered, Victor, what did you do? I didn't look at her. My eyes never left him. You tried to erase me, I said. Now I erase you. And for the first time in years, I wasn't afraid. Victor's face was pale under the chandelier lights. The mask of arrogance shattered. The board members stared, phones out, recording every word. Bianca was frozen, realizing her part in his betrayal. I stepped closer, heels clicking on the marble floor. Victor, I said, voice steady, cutting through the murmurs. Look at everyone here. Do you see them? They know your lies, your schemes, your poison. And there's nothing you can do about it. He opened his mouth. Clara, you don't understand. I understand perfectly, I interrupted. You thought I'd drink my tea, trust you, hand over control of the company, and never find out. Leo stood beside me, silent but radiating calm. We've documented everything, Victor. Every plan, every illegal transfer, every shady deal. You've left a trail of proof long enough to bury you. Victor's hands shook. He looked at the crowd. The whispers had grown. Board members were exchanging glances, some nodding in disbelief, others shaking their heads. You can't do this. Victor barked, his voice cracking. Oh, I can, I said. I took a step closer. And I already have. I pulled out my phone and pressed play. The recording from earlier that day filled the hall. Victor's own voice, crystal clear. Bianca's laughter. The plan to poison me. Every vile word documented. The gasps were audible. Victor's smug expression vanished. He backed toward the wall. You recorded this? He stammered. I didn't just record it, I said. I saved it, backed it up, and shared it with every key member of the board. Every illegal move you've made, every deception you've orchestrated, every attempt to steal what's mine, it's all here. Bianca's eyes welled up. Victor, this isn't. Silence, I snapped. She flinched. You helped him. You knew he was planning this. You're as responsible as he is. Victor tried to speak again, his face twisted with desperation. You can't ruin me. This company, the shares, everything. I already have, I said. And it's not just about the company anymore. It's about justice. About exposing the truth. About making sure no one else suffers because of you. Leo stepped forward, placing a firm hand on Victor's shoulder. The board will vote today to remove your position, freeze your accounts, and prevent any access to company property. Every asset you've tried to steal will remain protected. You can't fight this. Victor's knees buckled slightly. He looked at me, eyes wide with fear. Clara, I didn't mean. You didn't mean to? I repeated. You meant to betray me, poison me, and steal everything I've worked for. That's the truth. And I've survived it. I've planned for it. I've won because you underestimated me. The board chairman stepped forward. Mr. Victor, your conduct is unacceptable. Your position here is terminated immediately. All company privileges are revoked. Security will escort you off the premises if necessary. Victor stumbled back, panic overtaking him. I felt no pity. Only satisfaction. Only clarity. I turned slightly toward Leo. He gave me a small, approving nod. No words were needed. He had been my ally, my shield, and together we had dismantled Victor's empire of lies. I faced Victor one last time. This is over, I said, voice calm but cold. And remember this, I will not be underestimated again. He slumped into a chair, defeated, powerless, exposed in front of everyone he thought he controlled. I exhaled slowly. Relief and adrenaline surged together. I had faced betrayal, danger, and greed, and I had emerged victorious. Leo stepped closer, gently brushing a strand of hair from my face. "You handled that beautifully," he said softly. I let a small, grateful smile slip. We handled it. Together. For the first time in months, I felt the weight lift from my shoulders. Victor had fallen, and I had taken back control of my life, my company, and my future. And next it was time to rebuild. The office was quiet. Too quiet. I didn't want quiet, I wanted action. I pulled the files from Victor's desk drawer. Contracts, bank statements, emails, all of it. Leo was beside me, scanning numbers, checking balances, marking illegal transfers. "We start here," I said, pointing to the biggest transfer. This one went straight to his offshore account. "Freeze it." Leo typed fast.
Done.
"And the others?" "Freeze everything," I said. "No exceptions. I don't want him touching a single share or cent." He glanced at me, impressed. "You're ruthless." "I'm not ruthless," I snapped. "I'm smart. And I don't trust anyone else to clean up his mess." Leo smirked, leaning closer. "I can handle the cleaning, but I like that fire in your eyes." I rolled my eyes, but a small smile tugged at my lips. Focus. He almost killed me. Minutes later, the phones started ringing. Board members. Investors. Calls confirming Victor's termination, the freezing of assets, and the exposure of his schemes. Every conversation ended the same way: disbelief, awe, and finally, trust in me. I hung up one of the calls, heart racing. He underestimated me. That's the only reason I can fix this so quickly. Leo stepped closer again. "And he didn't think I'd be in your corner." "You've been in my corner all along," I said, keeping my voice steady. Even when he thought I was alone. He paused, locking eyes with me. "Always." I swallowed. This was not the time for distractions. Not yet. But the heat in his gaze didn't go unnoticed. "Check the contracts with Bianca," I said, pointing to her files. "I want all her bonuses and shares reversed. She's complicit. She helped him plan this." Leo nodded. "Already flagged. They'll be removed before she realizes." I moved to the main ledger, fingers flying over spreadsheets. Every account, every contract, every potential loophole, nothing escaped me. I had learned from Victor's arrogance. He thought he could manipulate, but he hadn't anticipated me being 3 steps ahead. "Almost done," I muttered, scanning the last transfer. Leo leaned over my shoulder. "You handled this faster than I imagined," he said. "I didn't just handle it," I said. "I own it now. Every part of it." He wanted power over me, over the company. Now he has nothing. Leo's hand brushed mine accidentally as he leaned closer to check a figure. I didn't move it away. Instead, I held the small touch, letting it linger just enough to acknowledge it. "You're impressive," he said quietly, voice low. "Not just with strategy, but with everything." I smirked. "Flattery now won't distract me." He chuckled. "I wasn't trying to distract you. I'm just stating facts." I shook my head, smiling slightly. "Good. Let's finish this before Victor thinks of another scheme." Together, we finalized the freezes, corrected the ledgers, and secured every account. Each action tightened the noose around Victor's remaining influence. Every move was calculated, precise, and irrevocable. Finally, I leaned back in my chair, hands on the desk. The office felt different. Not quiet now, it felt controlled, mine secure. Leo leaned against the doorway, arms crossed, still watching me. "You did all this? Alone or mostly?" I looked up at him, straight in the eyes. "Mostly. But the right ally makes all the difference." He stepped closer, voice soft but direct. "Then, maybe it's time to celebrate. Just a little. You deserve it." I allowed a small grin. "Maybe I do. But not yet. First, complete control." He smiled, teasing. "I'll wait. But don't think I'll let you forget I helped." I laughed, sharp and confident. "Good. I like having you on my side." The office was ours now. Victor's power, his manipulation, his lies gone. And I wasn't just surviving. I was thriving. And this time, I wasn't alone. The boardroom was packed. Executives, investors, and key stakeholders filled every seat, murmuring nervously. Victor sat at the head of the table, trying to look confident, but his hands shook slightly. He knew something was coming. I stepped into the room, heels clicking on the marble floor, files in hand. Leo was right behind me, calm, composed, and radiating quiet strength. "Victor," I said, voice sharp and steady. "Before we start, there's something everyone needs to see." He frowned. "Clara, this isn't the time." "Too late," I interrupted, tapping my laptop. The projector flickered on, displaying video and audio evidence. Victor and Bianca conspiring, planning to poison me, discussing shares, laughing about deceiving me. A gasp ran through the room. Victor's smug mask cracked. "You can't." "I already did," I said. "Every lie, every plan, every illegal move. All documented. All verified." Leo stepped beside me. "And we've backed it all up. Every file, every transaction, every shady deal. There's no way out for him." Victor's face twisted with anger. "You can't do this. I built this company." "Built it," I snapped. "You tried to destroy me and take what wasn't yours. That's not building, that's theft. And now it ends." I handed the files to the board chairman. "These contain every proof you need to take action immediately. Victor's access is revoked. All privileges frozen. And his influence is gone." Victor stumbled back, voice rising. You're ruining me." I walked toward him, eyes cold. "No, Victor. You ruined yourself. I just exposed it." Leo's hand brushed mine as he leaned closer to check the projector. I felt the small warmth, grounding me. "You're incredible," he murmured. "Focus," I whispered, smirking slightly. "We finish him first. Romance later." Victor's panic grew. The board members whispered among themselves. Phones were out, recording. Investors exchanged glances, nodding. His empire of lies was crumbling before everyone's eyes. "I can fix this," he shouted. "You can't," I said. Every account frozen. Every share secured. Every file backed up. "There's no undoing this." Bianca's face was pale. "Victor, Silence," I snapped. "You were complicit. You share responsibility." Victor sank into his chair, defeated. For the first time, he was powerless. No charm, no manipulation, no arrogance left. Only the truth, and it was unforgiving. I turned to the board. "I want it clear. Victor is removed. All his privileges terminated. This company is safe. My family's shares are protected." The chairman nodded. "Effective immediately. Security will escort him out if needed." Victor's shoulders slumped. He looked at me, desperation in his eyes. "Clara." "Enough," I said, voice icy. "You've had your chance. You lost." Leo stepped closer, brushing a strand of hair from my face as he whispered, "We did it. You handled that perfectly." I allowed a small smile, feeling a spark I hadn't expected. "We did. Together." He grinned, teasing. "Together, huh? Not just me watching?" I laughed lightly. "Fine, yes. You can take a little credit. But remember, I'm the one in control." He chuckled softly. "I wouldn't have it any other way." Victor's defeat was complete. Public, undeniable, and irreversible. And standing next to Leo, I realized that not only had I reclaimed my power, but I might have found someone who had been by my side all along. Someone I could trust beyond strategy and revenge. I glanced at him, meeting his eyes. "Ready to rebuild?" "Always," he said, voice low and steady, and there was that subtle warmth again, that quiet promise that this time, I wouldn't have to face anything alone. I smiled, finally letting myself feel victory, and something else. Hope. And maybe the beginning of something more. The room was quiet now, but my heart was racing. I had exposed betrayal, survived danger, and reclaimed everything. And standing here, beside Leo, I knew the future was mine to take. Victor was gone. The company was safe. And I was unstoppable. The office smelled of polished wood and fresh papers. I walked in, heels clicking, scanning the room. Every desk, every file, every ledger, under control. Victor's shadow was gone. Leo was already at the main terminal, checking that every freeze, every transfer, every correction we made was permanent. Everything's locked down, he said. He can't touch a thing. I nodded, moving to the ledger. Good. Make sure all the remaining contracts with Bianca are reversed. I want every asset that was ever threatened returned to the company. He typed quickly, his fingers precise.
Done.
Every file updated. She'll lose her privileges the second she logs in. I glanced at him, eyes sharp. Any loose ends with the board or investors? All secured, he said. They're on your side. They saw the recordings. They trust you completely. I took a deep breath, letting the control sink in. Good. No mistakes. Nothing left to chance. He leaned against the desk, watching me. You're ruthless, you know that? I'm not ruthless, I said, moving to the filing cabinets. I'm smart, and I don't trust anyone else to clean up his mess. Leo smirked, brushing a strand of hair from my face. I like that fire in your eyes. I rolled my eyes, but didn't step away. Instead, I let the small brush linger, letting a spark of warmth settle. Focus, I said. We're not done. I grabbed the final folder, Victor's personal accounts, all secret contracts, and off-the-books deals. I dumped them into a secure drive. Every trace of him, gone or exposed. Done. Leo nodded. He won't be able to manipulate anyone ever again. You're untouchable now. I smirked faintly, checking the company network. Untouchable and in control. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. And maybe you don't have to face the next chapter alone. I looked at him, catching the seriousness in his eyes. I know. That's why I let you stay. A small silence passed, heavy but comfortable. The tension between us wasn't words. It was a mutual understanding, respect, and maybe something more. I returned to the files, locking them in the secure vault. Every part of this company is safe. We rebuild on my terms. Leo watched, eyes steady. And you lead. I follow. Whatever you need. I smiled faintly, a hint of teasing now creeping in. Careful. I might just take that as a challenge. He grinned, leaning closer. I like a challenge. I shook my head, still focused. First, the company. Then maybe we see where this goes. Leo's smile softened. Take all the time you want. I'm not going anywhere. I went through the remaining paperwork, signing off corrections, updating ledgers, and confirming that every share, every account, every privilege was secured. By the end, everything Victor had tried to steal was protected, and my authority was absolute. I leaned back in my chair, eyes scanning the office. For the first time in months, I felt free. Not just from Victor, but from fear, manipulation, and uncertainty. Leo stepped beside me, hand brushing mine lightly as he handed me the final signed ledger. It's done, he said. I nodded, taking the folder. It's done. And we did it together. His eyes held mine, steady, warm. Together, he said. I allowed myself a small, genuine smile. The company was mine. Victor was gone. And maybe, just maybe, there was room for something more with someone I could trust completely. I set the ledger down and turned to him. Ready to rebuild everything else? Always, he said. And in that moment, I realized the most important thing wasn't just victory. It was knowing I had someone by my side I could count on. The future was mine. And this time, I was unstoppable.